Well, it happened. The red day. I knew it was coming. That's the worst part, is I knew the red day was coming. It was coming. It was gonna happen. It was promised. It was basically just, it had to happen at some point. This is part of day trading. You're not always gonna be green. You're not always gonna make money. There's gonna be red days. But really what it comes down to is, how do you react to those red days? What do you do when you have a red day? Do you keep trading, digging yourself deeper and deeper into a hole? Or do you walk away? Do you analyze what you did wrong and then identify what you need to work on? And today is a perfect example of what happens when you get FOMO. The FOMO is real. The FOMO is real today. The worst part is I had a pretty good entry. I was up, I was green, and then I ended up selling, and then you'll see the trades live in this video. But overall, one of those days where you just got to learn from, you got to focus on and make sure that you don't repeat. So hopefully you guys learn a little bit from what I did wrong today. And in the end, if my mistake today helps somebody else out there not have the same mistake, well, maybe it's all worth it in the long run. Got KOSS looking like it wants to move. This thing's been all over the place. I'm not really trusting it, but we're gonna see. Maybe we can get in here on this little bit of a dip buy. I don't feel too bad about buying the dip here. See if we can get filled there at 434. Not looking like we're gonna get it. Maybe move us up a little bit here. Trying to get filled there at 438, not getting filled. Let's see if we get a little bit of more of a pullback. Not really getting it. So over 450, I'm going to look to buy. Oh, there's a little bit more of a pullback. Okay. Got 400 shares there now. It's a low float stock. So now I got 1,000 shares. Looking for this to push up there to high of day there, 470s. I get over 450 here. I think we'll get a nice little squeeze. You can see that pullback down there. So I think you got people that are probably loading in there short, looking for this to pop. And if it just doesn't happen here, I'm going to play 430 my stop there. Cut that loss there quickly. It's really looking like it wants to go here. See if I can get filled there at 431. Jumping there at 450. Look for just a push. So I can get some more there at 441. A little bit of a pullback here. Looking like it wants to push here above 460. See if we can get there to the high of day, 470s. Beautiful. Looking at the 470 break, high of day. Add another 500 there at 456. See if we can break over this high of day, 470s. I think we break over 470, easily probably hit 480, 490. See this pop over 470. Gonna give this one a second. This one's just been popping really weird all over the place. So gonna give it a second here. And let's see if we can pop off this 430 support, that previous support down there, 430s. Let's see if this can make that move back up there at 470s. Got a buyer there at 440, trying to push it up there. Like I said, this thing's really not ideal trading. It's just not, it's really choppy. It's kind of all over the place. Give it a second to bounce back up here to the 430s and then try to get out there. See if there's a push back up here. Hold that 420s for now. Back above 430. Yesterday, this thing did very similar kind of things. It was just all over the place. I don't even know why I'm trading this right now. That's probably the better question to ask myself. Why am I trading this stock? It's just all over the place. Let's see if we can push back up here above 430. Give it a second here. Give it a second here. See if we can get back above 430. Looking for the bid to pop up there. See if we can get the bid to pop up back here above 430. Get a little spike, try to get out here. Looking for us to hold that 430 area, start pushing back up there. Trying to get out here for a smaller loss. Just watching that 430s. 433 now. Not liking it. This is what happens when you FOMO into a trade. This is exactly what happens when you FOMO. Right here, boom. FOMO. FOMO. That's all it was. This first buy was a pretty good buy. You know, I had this downtrend here. We had this downtrend breaking out of that, so we were looking for that upside there, getting a little bit of a pullback, and then, you know, I think the FOMO got me because I sold pretty much into this support, and then what do we do? So this was basically reverting back to how I don't want to be trading. This is not how you make money day trading. You buying high, selling low is not how you make money. That's one of the problems I think a lot of times with hotkeys as well, is what basically what happened was the stock was squeezing And I was like, oh, I'm in. And I just hit my hotkey without even really thinking about the idea that this stock, could possibly pull back like that, running into that resistance and not really thinking about what I was doing. I was just, boom, hit the hotkey, and I was right in. And the FOMO was real. The FOMO was real there. And if you're going to be trading with hotkeys, you got to be really careful that you're not just, hitting the hotkey and trying to get instantly in. And that's basically what I did today here on KOSS. And just wanted you guys to see the FOMO is real sometimes. This stock from the 430s, that would have been an easy 30, 40 cents. That would have been an easy 30, 40 cents. So that would have been a nice little move up there to pushing up there to the 470s, almost a high of day. This FOMO buy was terrible. This is exactly what happens when you FOMO into a trade. You get burnt, and that's exactly what I did today. Buying into this push here, probably shouldn't have loaded up like it did. Really, this was the buy here. What's kind of frustrating is obviously, I had a good buy at the beginning. My first trade I felt was okay, except for, obviously getting out a little early there, just trying to play it safe. But you can see that FOMO, it got me. The FOMO got me there, and now I got to pay the price. I'm going to pay the price. I'm going to walk away with my first red day in a while, and I can look back and be like, hey, now you know what happens when you FOMO. When you FOMO into a trade, this is what happens, Patrick. And you can see exactly how this went down. And that's just part of it. You got to live. You got to learn. Also frustrating, I should have cut my loss when it was above 430 like I said I was going to do, but the greed was real. The FOMO was real, and I was like, oh, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it till it's going to go back up. And you can see pretty clearly what happens when you FOMO into a trade. This is not what you want to be doing. This is a perfect example to not do. Do not do this if you want to make money day trading, because you'll end up losing money buying the top, selling the bottom. And today, perfect example of that. So there it is. People were like, why do you ever have red days? I have red days. Clearly seeing what happens when you break the rules. When you break the rules, you get burnt. I think really the stock was just not a good play overall. It just trades really, really weird. It's like all over. It just pops and then drops, and it did the same thing yesterday. So I should have kind of known that as well. I should have been like, nah, I'm staying away from it. I don't like it. But instead, the FOMO was real. The FOMO was real, and it got me. The FOMO is real. Look at that. I got the FOMO Club shirt on today, too. What a perfect time to wear this shirt. I didn't even plan it. But there it is. I'm going to walk away. Definitely hit my max loss for today. I'm done. I got to walk away and learn from this lesson here and come back tomorrow. And the thing here for me is I need to learn from this lesson. And then tomorrow we got to come back and we got to make sure that we're not doing this again. We're not repeating these bad habits, because this obviously, you can see the FOMO was real there. The FOMO was real. And the worst part was I was up like $160 at one point. I think I was up like $160 at one point. I could have taken profit, but I was greedy. I should have seen that this was having trouble there, not breaking above the high of day. Oh, there were so many things that I could have done, should have, would have. Hindsight is always 20/20. It's easy to sit here and look back and be like, this is what I should have done. This is what I could have done. This is the wrong thing. Blah, blah, blah. So it's easy to do all that. But today, perfect example of what not to do. Don't do this, kids. Don't do this. There it is. I'll talk to you guys later on.